Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring a really powerful concept, something that centers on the magnetic authority you actually already possess. We're calling this the empowering truth about your hidden feminine depths. And what we're really talking about is that fascinating phenomenon. Have you ever seen a woman walk into a room and just command attention?
Hmm. Without saying a word.
Without saying a word. No loudness, no big gestures, just this effortless gravity.
That word effortless, that's really the key here. We're diving into a space people sometimes call the dark feminine, but we need to get something straight right away. This is not about manipulation. It's not about playing games or using negativity.
Mm.
It's about mastering these, powerful psychological forces that are already inside you
So the goal is to stop fighting for influence.
and start attracting it authentically.
That reframing it's so critical. So our mission today is to unpack 7 core archetypes that represent these potent energies.
Energies that, for a lot of us, we've been taught to just push down or ignore. So we'll start with the power of strategic restraint. This is often the first and maybe the most immediate shift you can make. It's embodied by 2 figures, the siren and the observer.
Let's start with the siren. I mean, this taps directly into some really basic human psychology. We are just wired to crave what isn't handed to us on a platter.
Absolutely. The siren gets that.
Yeah.
In a world where everyone is oversharing on social media, in conversation, just the act of being selective,
Yeah.
it builds this irresistible pull.
It makes you the most interesting person in the room.
Exactly. When everyone else is laying their cards on the table, the one who holds back a few becomes, intriguing. Mystery creates anticipation.
So how do we do this in a practical sense? It's not about being secretive or cold, is it?
No, not at all. It's about being deliberate. It's about pacing and presence.
Okay, so some tactics.
For one, practice comfortable silence. Let the other person fill the space.
Yeah.
Also, you have to resist that urge to constantly explain yourself.
To justify every decision.
Right. And maybe the most important part, turn the conversation back to them. Ask thoughtful questions. You become fascinating because you stop trying so hard to be fascinating.
There's this one story, I think it's so powerful. This client.
Oh, the one about dating. Yes.
Yeah, she realized she was just unloading everything on first dates, her whole life story.
A classic case of oversharing.
And she said she made one change, just one. She started listening maybe 80% of the time.
And the result.
She said, men find me absolutely magnetic. And she was like, I haven't changed a thing about who I am, just how much I give away.
That restraint creates a vacuum. And the siren even applies this to her physical presence, the exit strategy.
The person who leaves a bit early.
Yes. The most memorable person is often the one who leaves while people still want more. That anticipation builds connection in a way, a constant availability just in it.
It never will. And that actually leads us perfectly into the second archetype here, the quiet observer.
Mhm.
We're shifting from creating pull to gathering intelligence.
And it uses the same core principle. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence.
So they rush to fill it.
They rush to fill it, and when they do, they reveal things. Vulnerabilities, intentions, things they never planned on sharing. Strategic silence turns listening into an active power move.
Okay, but I can hear someone thinking, if I just sit there and count to 3 before I talk, won't I just seem slow? Or like I'm being evasive?
That's a great question, and it really comes down to intent. This isn't about being slow, it's about being intentional.
Right.
When you're quiet because you are genuinely listening, your body language shows it. People feel your focus. We heard about that banking executive, right?
In high-stakes negotiations.
Yeah. She started counting to 3 in her head before responding. The other side got so uncomfortable with her focus that they started offering better terms just to break the silence.
That's incredible leverage. So for you listening, the method here is 1, count to 3, let it sink in.
And 2, pay attention to their nonverbals. When you don't immediately fill the space, people start negotiating with themselves. They project their own fears onto your silence.
Okay, so moving beyond these communication tactics, let's get into the foundation. Part 2, which is all about inner mastery.
And we had to start with the sovereign self.
The sovereign self.
The magnetic quality here is, it's all internal.
Mm-hmm.
It is mastery of yourself, which commands respect, instead of trying to control others, which just, it breeds resentment.
So it's about boundaries.
It's about clear, consistent boundaries, set without apology. And without justification.
That without justification part feels huge, because the moment you start explaining a boundary, you're inviting a debate about it.
You are. When you just state it, you define reality. These are like filters. You let in what serves you. Things like, I don't take calls after 8 p.m.
Or just, that doesn't work for me. Full stop.
And that's where the respect response comes from. People will test you at first. It's natural.
Right.
But when they see you're consistent, they adapt.
The moment you waffle, you teach them your boundaries don't really matter.
Right. Think of that marketing exec. She started declining meetings that didn't have a clear agenda. At first she worried, but now her time is totally respected. That's sovereignty.
And that internal strength, it flows so naturally into our next archetype, the emotional alchemist.
Right. Society has this idea that being sensitive is a weakness.
But then you have to manage.
The alchemist flips that entirely. She sees it as highly sophisticated intelligence. It's a competitive advantage.
An emotional radar system.
Yes. You're picking up on currents that other people miss completely. That slight tension in a room, the hesitation in someone's voice.
The smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes.
Exactly. While everyone else is stuck on the literal words, you're gathering data on the real emotional dynamics. Therapists say it all the time. The breakthroughs come from the emotions a client is trying to hide, not what they're saying out loud.
Okay, so how do we activate this? How do we turn a gut feeling into useful intelligence?
You have to get specific. First, name your emotions with more precision. It's not just sad, it's disappointed or frustrated. Second, check in with your body. A tight chest, a knot in your stomach. That's data.
And third,
Trust your intuitive hits, especially when they seem to contradict what you're being told.
seeing sensitivity not as a liability, but as like a superpower. That's a huge shift.
And that sense of wholeness brings us to our final part, the authority of wholeness. We're integrating everything, starting with the velvet hammer.
I love this one, the velvet hammer. It's this paradox that truly powerful people, they rarely have to yell.
They don't. The hammer delivers a hard truth, but with so much grace that the other person can actually hear it. It bypasses all their defensive walls.
It's that mix of genuine warmth and just unshakable resolve. Your strength doesn't need to be harsh.
But when it's not harsh, the message is actually received.
Yeah.
It's seen as guidance, not an attack.
That CEO story was the perfect example. He had to fire someone.
And the person thanked him for how he did it.
That's a compassionate directness. How can we practice that?
A really simple language trick is to use and instead of but.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of this part is good, but you need to fix this, you say this part works really well, and here's how we can make the ending even stronger. The and builds. The but negates.
Keep your tone gentle, even when the message is firm.
Exactly.
Okay, now we have to go to the deep end, the shadow embracer. This is about integrating the parts of ourselves we don't like to admit we have.
The anger, the ambition, the competitiveness, the energy it takes to keep up a perfect image is it's exhausting. It's an invisible drain.
Elite.
Yes, the shadow embracer stops that leak by bringing those parts into the light. When you're aware of your anger, you control it. If you deny it, it controls you.
Right, like that executive whose anger came out in passive-aggressive comments, it was undermining her authority because she refused to own it.
The power is in the ownership. If you own your ambition, you can direct it. A good practice is to notice when you have a really strong negative reaction to someone else.
Because it's often a mirror.
It's often a clue to a part of yourself you've disowned. The goal here isn't perfection, it's wholeness. And there's this incredible authority in someone who isn't afraid of their own depths.
Which brings us finally to the last piece, grounding it all in the sensual presence.
In our distracted world, most people are just living in their heads. The sensual presence is about reclaiming the power of being fully in your body.
Embodied awareness.
It creates gravity. You are fully here. And your nonverbal communication, your posture, your gaze, it all reinforces your message before you even speak.
The public speaking coach, his clients' presentations went from informative to captivating.
Without changing a single slide.
All she did was become more present, breathe deeper, moved with intention.
And that's how you activate it. Modulate your voice. Use strategic pauses. Move with grace, not just efficiency. And sensuality in this context, it just means living through your senses, not only your mind.
Aligning your body, emotions, and mind.
When you do that, you stop looking for validation outside of yourself because you're completely centered. And other people feel that. They orient themselves around it.
So if we bring it all together,
Right.
all 7 archetypes.
The siren's restraint, the observer's intelligence, the sovereign's boundaries, the alchemist's insight, the hammer's grace, the embracer's wholeness, and the presence's gravity.
The theme is attraction, not force.
It always comes back to that. True power is self-mastery. When you embody these things, you don't have to announce you're in charge. The room just feels it.
So as we close out, a question for you to think about. Which of these 7 archetypes really resonated with you?
And maybe the more telling question, which one felt the most uncomfortable?
The most foreign?
Because that discomfort, that's often exactly where your greatest potential is hiding. So the only question left is, which technique will you try today, and which room will you command first?